A's and F's.
My F goes to New York Attorney General Andrew Cuomo for using an implied threat to make public the names of those AIG bonus recipients for the purpose of coercing those recipients to return the money. Sure, he recovered some of the money for the government, but his actions raise serious questions about the propriety of the state's chief law enforcement officer using the power of government against specific individuals who are not alleged to themselves to have done anything wrong to recover payments that were lawfully made to them by their employer. It's good politics by the man who's made no secret about his future political aspirations, but not good government.
I'm giving an F, once again, I think, to the New York State Public Employees Unions. From what I understand, they have refused to even consider negotiating a deferral of a week's pay till retirement, or reduced pensions for new hires, or perhaps renegotiating a 13% over 4 years raise down to 10%, as Governor Patterson has suggested. To me, they seem like they are not acting in the public interest at all.
My F goes to Chuck Todd of NBC News, the White House reporter at the press conference the other night, asked President Obama if he was, quote, going to ask the public to make any sacrifices. In a time of spiking unemployment, foreclosures, and everyone's retirement going out the window with their 401k diving, this is a small thing, but what planet is Chuck Todd on that he could ask the president if the public is making any sacrifices?
I'm giving an F to conservative radio host Tammy Bruce. When filling in for another conservative talk show host, she referenced Michelle Obama's visit with students at Anacostia High School, which is a predominantly black urban school in Washington, D.C., and she made fun of Obama's emphasis on getting good grades and called Obama trash for only being interested in herself. I'm not sure what she knows about Anacostia High School, but I've been in that area, and Michelle Obama was right on track.
And I'm giving an F to AIG executive Jason DeSantis, who published an op-ed in the New York Times this week that was his letter of resignation from AIG to explain that he thought he deserved to receive his bonus despite the problems of the firms, the AIG's problem. And as the Daily News said, his letter amounted to unseemly whining at a time when 80% of AIG is now owned by us, the taxpayers, and I think he missed his shot in his public resignation.
My F extends Kristi's. You gave it to the Public Employees Union and unions, and you're right, but my F goes to Patterson, whose response to this was to say he's going to lay off 8,900 of these workers. We have 200,000 in this state. He's only laying off 4.5%. The F to Patterson for not seizing this opportunity and laying off 10%. Quickly, A's.
My A goes to Democratic Senators Evan Bayh, Tom Carper, and Blanche Lincoln, who last week announced they were forming a moderate working group in the U.S. Senate. They justified their actions on both pragmatic grounds, pointing out the importance of practical solutions that are not budget busting, and political grounds, that they can't get things through Congress necessarily, some of Obama's bigger ideas, since they don't have a 60-vote majority. Good policy and good politics.
I'm giving an A to John Hope Franklin, a prominent scholar of African-American history who died this week at 94. I knew him slightly when I was a graduate student at the University of Chicago, and he was just a wonderful scholar and extremely admirably had participated in the Supreme Court decision on Brown versus Board of Education, marched with Martin Luther King, a great example of an engaged, publicly engaged scholar.
Last October, I gave an F to the idea that we call our National Professional Baseball Championship the World Series. So this week, I'm giving an A to the World Baseball Classic and the Japanese champions for proving just how ridiculous it is that we call our game the World Series and we can't even make the finals in the World Baseball Classic.
And I had the same A as Kristi.
All right, and I'm yielding my A to Bob Spitzer because I like the music so much that is his A.
Glad to hear it. I'm giving an A to the cast and crew of SUNY Cortland's production of Guys and Dolls, Frank Lesser's rollicking musical. The show is performing on the Cortland campus this weekend and next weekend. Musical theater is alive and well on the Cortland campus.
And this is Big Julie.
Maybe. Yes.
Well, thanks to you at home for joining us this evening. Please send your comments to the Ivory Tower Half Hour, Post Office Box 2400, Syracuse, New York, 13220, or email us at ivorytower@wcny.org. Here's something new. Just a quick note. You are now able to watch our A's and F segment on the World Wide Web. Just go to www.youtube.com/WCNY Connected, and you can see us on and on into the night. This is David Rubin saying keep debate alive. We'll be here next week.
You meet a mug lately out of the jug, and he's still lifting platinum folly roll. Call it hell, call it heaven, it's probable 12 to 7 that the guy's only doing it for some dough.